I don't get it. And it all feels very silly. Like he's just sort of hovering, like waiting for a new planet to eat. There were only 2 of us, but we're fantastic as well, I promise. We have also gone to space and come back with unwanted powers that we plan to use for good on this planet.
We will face this together. We will fight it together. As a family.
It's Fantastic Four, First Steps. Yeah, so this is set on another Earth, Earth 828, we are told at the beginning. And this is an Earth that seems to be, even though the year is never given, it looks like it's about like 1964, but with retro-futurist version where there are flying cars and space programs and whatnot. I know we had one in 64, but you know what I mean. Anyway, and in this glossy world exists the Fantastic Four. And 4 years previous, they went into space and were bombarded with cosmic rays, and it left them with crazy powers. Reed Richards can stretch. Sue Storm can turn invisible and throw force fields. Ben Grimm is a walking man of stone, and Johnny Storm is the Human Torch. Although the names the Human Torch and the Thing and the Invisible Woman are never uttered in this film, nor is the Silver Surfer, who pops up at one point to tell them that, hey, Galactus is coming and he's going to eat Earth. So, you know, bye. So the Fantastic Four goes out into space to confront Galactus. And he's like, all right, well, okay, I won't destroy Earth if Reed and Susan give me their unborn child who has amazing cosmic powers. And they're like, nah. And then they come back to Earth and tell them, and everybody on Earth is like, no, give them the kid so that we don't die. And so things go from there. Yeah, I love the Fantastic Four. I brought out, I still have this from when I was a kid.
Oh, what is that?
It is a Treasury edition that has the Galactus story in it, the original one, where he and the Silver Surfer were introduced. And I'm not going to be like, oh, they didn't do this and they left out that and blah, like that, whatever. Even though the Fantastic Four movies up till now have been quite not good, this one also really doesn't work. You know, the world that they've created, the sort of kitschy retro futurist world, is so glossy and so artificial that I didn't buy it as a place where people really lived. It felt like a theme park diorama or something. And the characters get really short shrift here. Like, they're not as eccentric and funny and hot-headed or whatever as they are in the comics. They're all kind of bland. And so I just was shockingly bored by most of it. Like, once I had seen all of the, you know, shiny, you know, curvy, you know, mid-century kind of tech, and really, like, after Severance and Loki, we've kind of done the 1960s, 1970s Office bit by now. I just found myself left with not much. Like, even Moss-Bachrach, we just talked for our Patreon recap of The Bear, has like some of the best moments of that show. But here, his minimal, you know, kind of naturalist acting style gets lost when he's playing Ben Grimm. So you've got this big CG character made of rocks, but like there's no fire in there. You know, I'd say of the 4 of them, the only one that really registers is Vanessa Kirby, because, you know, she's the mom defending the baby and gets some interesting stuff in that. Paul Walter Hauser has a few fun scenes as the mole man, but overall, I never got engaged in this. I thought it was too much about the sort of surface pleasures, but it didn't really get to the heart of the kind of workplace / family sitcom that the comics at their best can be. These characters didn't have much chemistry with each other. They didn't have much personality on their own. I think this is kind of a letdown.
See, I disagree about the characters totally.
Okay.
Like, I could have watched them all sitting around the dinner table giving each other a hard time for all of it. Like, that was super fun. I thought that Joseph Quinn is giving me like young Robert Downey Jr., just in like his glib kind of energy, and there's just like about his eyes that's reminiscent. I think that Moss-Bachrach does a fine job within all the rock stuff of conveying like a warmth and a kind-heartedness, the whole thing with going to get the black and white cookies. Like, I think there's just nice grace notes there with him. Natasha Lyonne is criminally underused.
Yeah, if they were gonna introduce that character at all, who is not from the comics, like they no, which is fine. Like again, like make changes. I don't care.
Yeah.
She's terrific, but yeah, she's a blip in this movie. And I agree with you. I think if the movie had been them sitting around the dinner table, they might have found some fun stuff to do with it. But as it is, it just skitters around with like, oh no, we must save the world stuff, which these movies always feel like they have to do. And I don't feel like we really got to know any of them.
The saving the world stuff to me is way less interesting. Like Galactus as the big bad is just like almost kind of silly. Like he's so giant. Why does he eat planets? Please explain this to me.
He has a hunger, Christy. I don't know.
Where does this come from? Like is it a curse? Like I don't get it. And it all feels very silly. Like he's just sort of hovering, like waiting for a new planet to eat. And then he comes to Earth and like takes a big chunk of dirt and like kind of like sniffs it and tastes it and like tosses it aside. Like, dude, why are you here? Right? If you're not going to enjoy the taste of Earth, why are you here? The whole purpose of Galactus, and I said this in my Out of the Theater thing, I think it's kind of silly. And I did not read Fantastic Four growing up, so I don't have this as an important cultural touchstone in my youth. But once we get to space and there's like just a big dude like churning his way through planets, I'm like, this is like the silly comic book stuff. But for a lot of people, I recognize that is the meaningful part is the action stuff in space. And like their spaceship is cool, I guess. I would
argue that Galactus works better on the page than anybody has managed. And he works better as a big walking behemoth than as a cloud like he was in one of the earlier movies, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a spikiness to the Fantastic Four. Like they were sort of the original bickering superheroes. And here they're all just kind of like, they mostly get along okay. And like, you know, the whole thing with like Johnny Storm in the comics, for instance, is like a skirt chaser and a hothead. And he's neither of those things here. Really, we're told that he's like a ladies' man, but apart from flirting with the Silver Surfer, who is now a woman, played by Julia Garner, you don't get much personality out of him. So I was not dragging in all of my baggage of having read the comics, but I just felt like what was there on the screen didn't pop. And I went with Dave White, who's never read a Fantastic Four comic in his life, and he too was bored.
I brought Nick and he had fun. Nick has never seen any of the comics themselves, but he enjoyed and I did, as you say, the look of it is gorgeous. I like the changing aspect ratios to indicate like where the source is that we're looking at, you know, whatever reports about the Fantastic Four. Similar to Superman, it just sort of puts us in a world where like, here they are. Is it like the quickest of expositions as to how they got their powers? Skip
the origin part, which is always, I think, a good thing. Sure.
I agree. Like we live in a world in which we just know the Fantastic Four exists, the way we live in a world in which this Superman exists. And I think that was smart to just like from the very, very top, get up and go. It's very zippy off the top. It's a lot of fun. I would like to just hang out in that penthouse. It's like the chicest boutique hotel. I want to hang out there all day.
There's a conversation pit, you know?
Yeah, and a great balcony. Like I love all that mid-century stuff and like the costume design, you know, and just like they really outfit everyone, you know, at the launch, the rocket launch when they have to go back into space. Like it just feels, there's like a graininess to some of that footage that looks like it's old news footage. I think they did a nice job with that. I love the Michael Giacchino score.
It is fun. Yeah, that's one of the better aspects of this movie.
It almost becomes like kind of techno at points, which I thought was an interesting choice and a departure from what we usually know from Michael Giacchino's big IP scores, you know, things he does for, cinematography, costume design, production design, all great. And just, it's like the actual big action stuff that kind of left me cold, but I had a good time. It's under 2 hours. I thought it was kind of zippy.
I would say, like, I think the production design and costume stuff is well done, but I think it overwhelms the movie. I think it kind of, you know, people sort of take for granted like what Wes Anderson always does, where he creates these worlds and they might not look, you know, realistic, but they seem lived in and everything is contextual with each other. And this just to me felt like, I compared it to like, this is like if the 10-minute video that you watched on your way into the Fantastic Four ride at Disneyland became a feature film, because it's so aggressively and exaggeratedly art directed and jokey. but it just didn't land with me. And I really like, on paper, a Fantastic Four movie that's leaning into like 60s kitsch should be super up my alley. And this left me cold.
And directed by Matt Shakman, who directed all of WandaVision, which very expertly recreated very specific kitschy genres.
He's even done a Mad Men episode.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I thought like that worked well as far as like a cohesive vision, from him. Vanessa Kirby's amazing. She's so good. And I was enjoying a certain scene that reminded me of the movie that she got nominated for an Oscar for. So that was kind of cool. And there's a thing that happens that, as a mom myself, made me physically like recoil, like squirm. It was like a thing that I don't want to give it away.
Sure.
You'll know when you see it, but I'm like, ah! But I had a lot of fun. I thought it was zippy and light and fun. And in a world where so much is so heavy with superheroes, this just seemed playful. And somebody in the comments of my out of theater reaction asked, how is this compared to Superman? How I like this better than Superman? I think we both like Superman a lot better. It felt a lot more substantial, a lot more emotional.
Yeah, the fact that we haven't said the name Pedro Pascal yet, I think they give him very not much to do and not much of a character to play, sadly.
He's like brilliant scientist, like cold and brilliant and has answers for things.
It's kind of stolid, I think. And he's capable of more. Like, I mean, I think he's got more to do in Eddington, a movie we both really didn't like, than he does here. So, go figure.
Okay. I'm going to say like a 7. It's fun.
I'm a 5 for for the production design and the clear effort that went into it, even though I think that production design ultimately overwhelms the rest of the film. But I mean, I can't deny the craft involved. So.
Okay. Fantastic Four First Steps out in theaters this weekend. Will you see it? Let us know.